Welcome. For this presentation on new and innovative events in forensics, we're going to be looking at a variety of areas, starting with advances in artificial intelligence. All of you are probably aware of the artificial intelligence chatbot ChatGPT, which has been quite controversial since its inception in November 2022. I view innovations in technology as a plus, and I think students do as well. So what I decided to do as part of this presentation is to utilize AI to think about what types of events might be incorporated into future collegiate forensics competitions. The first website you're going to be looking at is called OpenAI. From this particular website, you can create an account for ChatGPT. It's moved on so quickly that, as you can see on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, it's already on its fourth iteration. Once you go to ChatGPT, you can ask any question, and it's going to give you a response in roughly about 15 or 20 seconds. And that's what I decided to do with this particular topic on new events in college forensics. This was the first response that I received. Slam poetry, impromptu storytelling, persuasive debate, podcasting, stand-up comedy, mock press conference, performance art, and cultural storytelling. For instance, number 6, mock press conference, competitors take on the role of a public figure or a spokesperson and must field questions from a panel of journalists, demonstrating their ability to think on their feet and communicate effectively under pressure. Number 8, cultural storytelling. Competitors tell a story from a specific cultural tradition or background, showcasing their knowledge and appreciation of diverse perspectives and experiences. You'll notice at the bottom you can regenerate a response. Sometimes the updated responses will be the same and slightly different. So if you ask the question again, what new individual events could be added to college speech tournaments? Here are some of the replies. Stand-up comedy, spoken word poetry, improv, storytelling, voice acting, debate, public speaking, mock trial, creative writing, foreign language oratory. Some of these, of course, sound familiar, but number 8, mock trial. Students could participate in a mock trial, acting as lawyers or witnesses and presenting arguments and evidence in a simulated courtroom setting. Number 10, foreign language oratory. Students could compete by delivering a speech in a foreign language, showcasing their language skills and cultural knowledge. But if you ask the question a third time, what types of responses do you get? Podcasting, slam poetry, improv, debate, persuasive speech. If you scroll back, you'll get, among other things, number 2, TED-style talks. This event could involve participants delivering short, informative talks on a specific topic of their choice, modeled after the format of TED Talks. When you continue to look down the screen, number 6, multilingual speaking. This event could involve participants delivering speeches or presentations in a language other than their native language, with judges evaluating their fluency, accuracy, and cultural understanding. We'll see a video clip of that later from Asia. These are just a few examples of the many possible new individual events that could be added to college speech tournaments, including podcasting, number 7. Participants creating and presenting a podcast episode on a specific topic or theme, with judges evaluating their ability to research, write, and produce compelling audio content. But let's go one step further. Refining the question, what new events utilizing technology could be added to college forensics tournaments? Online debates, virtual reality speeches, social media analysis, podcast production, AI debate. Number 2, virtual reality speeches. With the increasing availability of virtual reality technology, it could be interesting to see an event where students give speeches in a virtual environment. This would require students to adapt to a new form of public speaking and could lead to some interesting creative opportunities. Number 5, AI debate. Another idea could be hosting debates between students and an AI system. This could be an interesting opportunity for students to explore the ethical implications of AI and engage in a novel form of debate. This was regenerated from improvisational speaking, podcasting, multimedia storytelling, social media campaign, and virtual debate. So in addition to examining artificial intelligence for ideas, because all of us hit a dry well on occasion, sometimes it's helpful to look to the past. You're going to be watching a 2.5-minute clip from a 1956 high school debate with individuals from 4 different countries on the topic of prejudice. This video clip features high school students from Nigeria, Ethiopia, Ghana, and South Africa.
But that, if so far as you believe in apartheid, it means you believe in separateness. Then keep the Africans separate with their own governments, with their own money, with their own everything, and keep the white separate.
Excuse me, I'll just come in there.
Okay.
He said that if Africans would just calm down and then cooperate with them, the land will achieve peacefulness. Right. Do you mean that the Africans are the people who are really the aggressors against you? You are not really aggressive towards Africans. I mean,
of course not. The general attitude in South Africa, and I come from a country, I know every summer that we have, every holiday at least that I have, I go and spend on the farms, and I live amongst these natives. I really get to know what they look and what they are.
Then
like.
the
general attitude of the white people in South Africa is sympathetic towards the black people. They regard themselves as the trustees of the.
I mean, why shouldn't they be sympathetic? The point is, I always stress this fact that there are 9 million Africans and 3 million whites.
Exactly. So
if you come to South Africa, there are only 43 Africans with university degrees who are graduates. If you come to the Gold Coast, you have thousands of them. Gold Coast is a black colony, just like South Africa. But we have been able to develop everything, which shows the capability of the African to do anything itself. But we have been able to get all these ideas through the mixture of Western ideas. Actually, we couldn't develop on our own, until we got British help. And since we got the help, we have been able to do everything ourselves. If you go down to South Africa and help the Africans with your ideas, getting, free mixture of ideas, everything will be okay. But the point is, you use the Africans as tools. You tell them that don't be in this city after 9 o'clock, don't wear this thing, don't do this thing, don't go to America, and the Africans don't go any further apart. Anywhere at all outside the South African Union.
You know that the white people in South Africa aren't allowed in the black areas either after dark.
It's because you created this situation. Why don't get free mixture? You look down on the Africans. That's the point. Am I quite clear? Because you said you believe in separateness, and I want you to come down to this point. You have not answered my question.
Just let me interfere. What's the fundamental cause of all this discrimination in South Africa? The one fundamental cause.
Firstly, because the Bantu in South Africa is not as educated and as highly civilized,
and therefore,
yes,
and therefore
we've got to live with them together in that land. Remember that.
You mean
you people want us to give them equal franchise rights? We give them equal franchise rights within hardly any time whatsoever. The white man in South Africa will have absolutely no say in anything.
But
what you see in this particular debate is a conversational style which potentially could be included in 2023 competitions and beyond, something that you don't see as much today, a stylistic approach that many of us remember from cross-examine association debate. Now let's move on to how individuals at a young age can appreciate public speaking skills and become possibly involved at the high school level in competition. This particular video clip is from an international organization. It is the English-speaking Union on the topic Oracy in Action.
Oracy in Action is a unique new program from the English-speaking Union that supports primary schools to develop a fully sequenced, detailed Oracy curriculum. It is a range of lesson plans with accompanying resources, including games, activities, and everything else a school would need to develop a really enriching and fun oracy program to develop children's speaking and listening skills and ensure that they have confidence and become articulate young people.
I'm speaking in a nice, calm manner, right? My body language, I'm facing Miss when I'm talking to Miss. I'm giving Miss eye contact.
RC is important because it helps us to understand each other. To a person who is now doing RC in action, I would tell them that they should continue doing it and that it's good for them because it builds up your confidence for when you grow older and you want to do a job.
We want children to leave primary school with the correct vocabulary, and one of the ways that we can do that is by ensuring that oracy is taught before actually teaching parts of the curriculum, because if the children have the correct vocabulary, they're able to speak more clearly about the subject that they're speaking about.
I did enjoy RC in action because it helps you build confidence and it can help you later on in your life.
Oracy is to speaking what numeracy is to maths or literacy is to reading and writing. It's essentially the ability to communicate well, to articulate your thoughts, to be able to speak clearly and appropriately to a range of audiences and in a range of contexts with confidence. It's also about being able to agree to disagree and having respect for each other and using verbal language and verbal language skills to make your mark in the world and make sure that your voice is heard and respected.
With Oracy in Action, it helps mold your children into confident speakers, and it helped close the gap. Point, explanation, and example. Okay, right. So we're going to do a bit of work on that as well. Okay.
Listening is focused on paying attention to what other people are saying.
As an education charity, the ESU is really passionate about social mobility and equality and ensuring that all children have that chance to thrive and to reach their potential.
In addition to all of these particular topics, whether it be international, whether it be the past, whether it be the future with artificial intelligence giving us concepts or ideas for new and innovative events in college debate and forensics, what about your own classes? Basic public speaking, advanced public speaking, anything involving rhetoric or debate? What types of assignments do you utilize? This is the final page of my spring 2023 syllabus in advanced public speaking. Some of the assignments in the course include a speaker analysis. What makes a particular individual effective as a communicator? An argument analysis, very similar to the types of events you would see primarily on the West Coast. A wildcard speech, literally being anything that a competitor might want to discuss, and something that all college students upon graduation would definitely be interested in, a job interview. So I strongly encourage you to look at your own syllabi and examine different types of ideas that potentially could be on the short list for debate and forensics tournaments, even if it is at your own local tournament. I want to conclude with a video clip from the 2021 Australian Youth Speech and Debate Competition. The last minute or so is interesting because it shows you extremely talented young speech and debate competition from around the world.
The topic of our debate is that social media does more harm than good.
Social media brings more good than harm. Actually, social media companies will invade the privacy of teenagers for advertisements, for them to click on more of their content.
Social media has really benefited people who are looking for a job.
But more connection means there will be a higher rate of unhealthy connection.
She said how in the end it didn't really matter, but that's not true. It raised global awareness across the whole world.
There's way more leak of privacy so that they can get more ads on and more screen time for the children.
For the first speaker, I want to say that this information that they gave and gathered can help you during online shopping.
To do this in a language that is not your first language is a remarkable achievement. And the skills that the students here are learning will serve them exceptionally well. I was very impressed with the standard of debating that I heard this afternoon. Well done to everybody here, particularly to all of those who are participating in this competition.
So we can look to the future, we can look to the past, and we can look internationally at different types of innovative events in college debate and forensics. It will only make the experience that much more rewarding for everyone involved. And that concludes my presentation. Thanks for watching.